Welcome, Acolytes. Today I am reacting to Altori's What's Wrong with Male Gaze? Well, if you want to know what's wrong with that, there isn't. There is one exception though, if you overdo it and just stare at that booty like a freak. But that's not what we're talking about. The male gaze is basically just a man actually just watching a woman. Or looking at her, so that's how I understand it. At the end of the day, just have this. Let's just start. It's just... I am actually quite surprised that Altori actually talks about it because this is so... bollocks. But at the end, let's just see Acolytes.
For today. Is the male gaze okay? I don't know, when people see really hot women, like they got nice juicy butt, something that I wish I could have, but I really like looking at it, or men's bodies that are built attractively, is it really an issue? What exactly makes it an issue? And why is everyone deciding that it's better that we get ugly characters rather than super attractive?
Good, before she continues, literally, more women stare at women's butts than men. Like, officially, like, just stare out at them. That's, yeah, so that's that.
We're going to be looking at some of these posts, and I'm going to try and be as nice as possible, because I'm super tired.
No, you shouldn't.
But these people seem as though they're really looking for direction. And maybe it's just confusing to them, because maybe of how they grew up. Maybe they're super religious or something. I'm not really sure. Which is funny, because the group of people I see pearl clutching the hardest when it comes to fantasy characters, ironically, are people who are anti-religion, anti-conservative, you know, in terms of their lifestyle, which is actually really confusing to me, because wasn't it the other way around before, where people thought, oh no, the video games are gonna get you, and if your kids are killing stuff in the video game, they're gonna go out and do it in real life, or it's a gateway to hell and all this foolishness. And now you have the people on the flip side saying and echoing the same sentiments, which is
correctly the same sentiment, just a different coloring. And by the way, yes, you're correct about it. The thing is that most very hypocritical people that go to this amount, because let's be just honest here, every one of us is to a certain degree hypocritical, and some of us have reasons for that you may or may not agree with or some of us just don't give a fuck. Simple as that. But a lot of people that are actually hypocritical to that degree, to that gigantic degree where they would actually punish people for wrong thinking. They're the ones that are real freaks about the thing. So that's the thing that most people probably don't like.
Really odd to me. So I think we should start off with what male gaze means. The definition of it so far is the perspective of a notionally typical heterosexual man considered as embodied in the audience or intended audience for films and other visual media, characterized by a tendency to objectify or sexualize women. Simply put, it's when a male looks at something and likes it because it's attractive, particularly when he looks at a woman. But it's okay if women look at women and women look at men, but it's not okay when men do it, because apparently
and as long as you don't stare like a freak,
and I'm only saying it's a response to this person's comment. You know, we're going to get into why the male gaze exists and why it's not a bad thing. But this person seems to be either highly insecure with certain body types of women or insecure about themselves. But they did add at the end, of course, I'm not a man with male gaze, though. I don't know what the point of that was. But I know this might sound crazy, but let's dissect this in all of its glorious hypocrisy. See, the male gaze isn't this sinister patriarchal plot to oppress women. It's biology doing what it's meant to do. Men like looking at women. That's the whole... We're visual creatures as humans. A lot of animals are actually visual. When you use your eyes and something grabs your attention easily, when you're always caught looking at your phone, you can't even pick your head up to have a conversation with someone, that's your eyes. Men like looking at women. Shocking, I know. But here's also the kicker that people don't understand, or they just conveniently forget when it comes to conversations like this. Women like looking at men too. Behold the human condition. Oh my god. You know what's even funnier? The same people who screech male gaze will fawn over their fictional husbands in all of this anime. Like, if you just go and look at Pinterest and some of the things that people are leaving on there, some of the comments that people are leaving on there, if a guy were to leave the same comment about a female, they would cancel him. I mean, they're like, you know, oh my god, you know, I want to swallow all.
Yep.
I mean, there's some stuff on there that's like, dude, are you also the same ones that you look at their accounts? And they're the same ones bitching when men are looking at a fantasy female character, another anime character. Oh, he's disgusting.
Yes, because the thing is, this isn't a thing of justice or something that people actually want to do better in society. It's just a freaking power play, and it works to a certain degree. And the thing is, those freaking freaks, now I wanted to call them something else. Right now I just came up with goblins. Those goblins just are freaks. Still gonna take it. That actually want to point out and and just force every one of us that actually behaves normal how to behave. No, that's not good.
Must be a neckbeard. Like, bro, you were literally just doing the exact same thing he was doing, so it doesn't make any sense, right? You can idolize men as a woman in superhero movies and anime and whatever you want, even real like IRL, not IRL, but they do it in IRL too. You can touch a guy's abs without his consent, but suddenly the female gaze is empowering and liberating, right? That's okay.
Yep.
But a sexy woman in a video game is problematic. And let's not forget, like.
And by the way, I'm gonna speak from personal experience here, because when I was younger, a young man, I was actually, I was quite attractive. Fully, just thin, just took care of me, and you don't even know how many effing times I just got snipped or snapped on the butt, just because women don't give a fuck. They just do it, and there is no repercussions for it, except for the repercussion I didn't touch those bitches, because fuck them. But yeah, they can do it without any consequences, or almost any consequences. Some of them gays to this day, even though I became a bit of a freaking fat redneck. Well, not fat, but still opulent.
The lesbians, there are lesbian women who enjoy the sight of gorgeous female characters. Are they also guilty of perpetuating the male gaze? Or does that little nugget of reality blow the whole argument out of the water? I know I've told this story before, but it bears repeating. And I don't mean that this speaks for all lesbians, but in every situation, the 3 situations where I've been approached by lesbians, I mean, like physically touched.
I'm gonna cut it because I can tell you how this works. What she's gonna say. Because lesbians, the butch lesbians, or the lesbians that actually go for it, they are fucking aggressive about it. There is nothing subtle about those cases. From the women that I heard and seen, even with girlfriends. Just like those situations were really, really, really bad. But of course, I'm not saying that every single actual lesbian does this, but I will bet my freaking left arm that she's gonna say that.
Kind of thing. They were always being saucy without my consent. They're the most forward people. Like it. And one of them was my friends. It was super embarrassing. If she's watching this right now, I've already said it in another video, but yes, you were kind of creepy. Like, you're cute, but you were creepy. Right in front of all of her friends. She's feeling me up and grabbing my ass, and I'm like, and she's just like, damn, that body, what I do to you. And I'm like, what the? I'm like, Crystal, or I said her name, whatever. But I'm like,
married,
dude,
by the way.
Can you chill? And our friends are like, our other 4 friends are just watching us, and they look so awkward. Like, it was such an awkward situation. And then she grabbed my ass, and I said, stop. Like, you could tell, like, everyone could tell, like, I don't like that. Can you not do that? And she didn't listen. She just smiling and grabbing my ass. And I don't have that much ass to grab and to begin with, but, it is what it is. And I slap her hand.
I told you, sometimes the quantity doesn't matter, but the quality, the quality. So, And to this situation, yes, exactly, for fuck's sake. And I am actually quite surprised you're still friends with her after she actually sexually assaulted you. Why?
away and I yell at her and I'm like, stop. And I usually don't do that. I don't like being confrontational. I just let things happen. But that time I was super embarrassed. And then you know what she does? She keeps smiling at me and grilling me and violating me with her eyes. And she says, I like them when they're feisty or something like that. I don't remember which, but said something along those lines. She was licking her lips. And I just was like, okay, I feel like something is going to happen and something is not going to happen at the same time. So let me go. I'm going to go home. I was so angry because it's not like we were doing it, but she did it in public. Our friends are standing right there. There was another situation where this other woman, she had a crush on me. And it was clear because everywhere I'd go, she'd come up and be like, hi, Allie, and like touch my face. And then when she like touched my hair, she'd come back with the same hairstyle and she's rubbing up on my body. And I know she's gay because she had a girlfriend, you know, or at least I think that was her girlfriend. She was sitting and making out with that person in the lunchroom. But then she's also trying to feel me up every chance she gets. And then there was the pizza woman, you know, like even though she knew I was married, and then she took my number off the receipt and then tried to get in touch with me, say she wanted to get to know me. And I'm like, bruh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And people are talking about men, but sometimes lesbians are kind of creepy as fuck too, dude. Like, I mean, have you seen women when they're going after other women? Sometimes I'm not saying they're all like that.
It's
but
vicious.
Can we stop from here on out thinking it's just men that are being creepy?
That's correct.
Women can be just as creepy. Like, my husband can tell you, like,
I would even say
anyway,
worse.
humans are wired to appreciate beauty and strength in other people. And this person mentioned that sex sells, you know, but not every single thing has to sell it. Well, if it sells, then I guess there would be motivation for more things to sell it. You're playing it, aren't you? Clearly. I mean, whatever they had attracted you enough to play it.
And by the way, I just want to point out the character on this... I want to see... let's just stay with Goblin. With this... On this Goblin's profile, pretty attractive.
You're playing it. If you don't want something that has sex in it, selling it, there's a bunch of those modern games for people like you that apparently are made for the mythical modern audience, which apparently you fall into. So why are you not playing those games? Why are you coming over here knowing that this game is packaged like this and then making an issue of it? People are allowed to make issues of whatever they want, but... I think people like to ignore the fact that it's primal, you know, universal appeal. Complaining about this is like getting mad at gravity for keeping you grounded. Like, I don't understand. And they seem like they don't understand either. But all you have to do is just read up on biology, right? I don't know why that's such a taboo topic nowadays, but it exists.
I don't know either.
What we're based on, like the study of life, how we operate. Have people become that far removed from the body that they're living in that they don't even realize the species that they are and that...
I mean, I can answer that because if you control the actual primal need for this stuff, you control the human being. It already was done in religions and it's still done to these days in religions. And now it's just continuing here. It's a different form from that, but it's exactly the same thing. It's exactly the same one-to-one thing. So, yeah, it's basically just that.
The feelings are normal. And I'm sorry, but attractive female characters being both sexy and empowered. You got these badass female characters that are sexy and they're liking being sexy. I'm pretty sure if a lot of them, they had the chance, they'd be like, yeah, I'm hot. I have all these powers and I like men looking at me. Like, of course, look, but don't touch, right? That's not oppression. That's a win-win. They're capable, confident, and yes, easy on the eyes. They like that. That's the whole point. Fantasy is supposed to be outside of the box and say it with me. It's fantasy. It's not real. It's not a real woman. I don't know if that really matters to these people, but I think that's important to keep in mind when you're making these kind of criticisms. And this person's talking about triple BBLs. You do realize that there are women that have that body type, right? That's why people wanted BBLs, you know, because the reason that even started is because there's some women that came out and they actually look like that. And they're like, damn, men seem to go after women that look like that. So let's get a surgery to try and look like those women. It's particularly people that have an ass like mine that's like super flat. They're like, oh, I want to look like that girl over there because when she walks, her ass is walking too, like on air. I want to have that because it's mesmerizing. And if I can't keep my eyes off of it, they look like two basketballs and I want to freaking play with them. Men, how do I expect men to keep their eyes off of it when that's literally a calling card for someone being appealing? Not saying that flat asses are not appealing too. At least I got hips. I'm glad for that. But someone said when I turned to the side, I disappear. That was so mean. But you know, it's okay because there's something for everybody. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, those women shouldn't have asses like that. Like, what the hell? Like, dude, relax. Your insecurity is showing. If you're really about body positivity, celebrate the women with the flat asses and the fat asses. But this whole, the bodies are comical. You don't realize there are women that look like that, and you're saying that their bodies are comical. That's what's strange to me. People like this always say, oh, you need to get out more and touch some grass, but you need to do the same thing. Don't let me catch you reading those erotica books where you're thirsting after the main character. Don't let me see you with any profiles on Pinterest writing a 2-page paragraph of all the things you do to the freaking cartoon character on the screen that somebody drew or generated on Midjourney. You guys are creepy, and you have the nerve to be talking about the male gaze. And people keep saying, oh, it's gooner material. Can we stop? What are you? What is this, 1986? Why are you still using that? It's so weird. You do it too when you listen to your books. You do it in public when you're reading your freaking books, when you're watching anime, when you're watching your shows. Oh my god, look at that guy with his 6-packs and bulge that he fluffed up before he took the shot. And everyone's licking their lips and pretending nothing is happening while your lake is growing ever more moist.
And by the way, yes, I remember the situation where some fuckers went into a freaking library and started to read children fetish books. Just... Okay.
And then you have the nerve to hypocritically be talking about gooner material? What about the lesbians?
Yeah.
Are you having a problem with them finding it to be gooner
Of course
material?
not.
So,
Maximize
what
the
if it is gooner
hypocrisy.
material? And if done tastefully, clearly it's done tastefully because more people like it than people have an issue with it. I understand some of that's subjective, but can we all agree that there are certain things that are, as I said before, have a universal appeal? Could it just be, I don't know. Some people can't understand why people like it. Like this person right here.
Yeah.
They're really trying to get the gooners, huh? A lot of 40-year-old dudes who are virgin are about to be very happy. This cannot be a real post. Are you one of them, dude? Like, what in the world? What are these people? Anyways, look, the point is, it's funny because these people need to chill. They're the same people that if people have an issue with a game because the game is bad or the characters are ugly and they don't want to look at the characters, they will be the first ones to say, oh my god, you're mad about this in a game where there are dragons? Like, that's their new thing now, but we can also flip that to the other side of the up a rat's ass infected coin. These are fictional characters.
Yes.
They exist in a world where they can shoot stuff out of their hands and fly without wings. They exist in a world where dragons fly. And everyone has a perfectly tailored outfit that never wrinkles. And hair never gets frizzy or caught in a freaking propeller or around their ankles when they're fighting and doing weird moves that their hair definitely would get caught in and would cause their neck to snap. But somehow a woman with curves and a revealing outfit is where you draw the line. Did you guys just wake up yesterday? Like, did you just suddenly pop out from under a rock about it?
Yes. The only fucking thing that actually in those fantasy novels fucking exists, and they are against that. I don't know what's in the heads of those mentally amputated goblins, but for fuck's sake, stop it. Just stop it. Go out, socialize a bit. It will be awkward the first time, but go out, socialize with people. Or even socialize on the internet a bit if you're not sure about it. Just go through town and just smile at people. Try this for a start. You will see that if you don't behave like a freak, people will actually like you. Or most of them. There are still rats that you have to be aware of, but generally people will like you and treat you good. Just stop this.
a second ago. And even if you're gonna go with, oh, well, they're just not realistic body types, fantasy is meant to be exaggerated. That's why it's called fantasy. You don't see people losing their minds over impossibly jacked male characters who look like they bench press mountains in their free time, who have natural, quote unquote, bodies. They're natty, if you want to believe that. In the real world, to get a figure like that, you would have to be, you know, shooting up. People try to lie about it, but it is what it is. You're never gonna attain that naturally. Not looking like freaking Wolverine when he was 3 times his size. But the moment a female character shows up looking like some kind of pinup woman, while also being able to kick ass, by the way, suddenly it's the end of civilization. This person said, yeah, no, I do not think I'm going to be playing anymore. I honestly am just growing more and more tired of this. And I was honestly pretty excited for this update. I do not care if people think I'm too sensitive or that I'm too woke. You're actually not woke. You're like asleep. But anyway, but it gets to a point where it's degrading. The MR community, Marvel Rivals community, which is mainly male dominated. Oh, here we go. Which is mainly male dominated, have decided the best way to foster community is by sexualizing. Oh my fucking god, bro! What in the world? Just say you're fat as shit. I'm sorry. I know that came out mean, but girls that usually have that insecurity about themselves and they have an issue with it are usually the ones I see doing that. Like, it's either they're way too skinny and have no curves, or they're super, super fat, or they're super, super feminist and hate dudes. And they want to be able to enjoy doing the same thing that guys do, but they don't want to see guys enjoying themselves. It's either one of those 3 things. Either thing is bad. I'm just being realistic. But here's a thought. Sexy and strong aren't mutually exclusive. And here's another thought. As I've said before, you're fighting a losing battle. If every time you are protesting against this and no matter what you do, it's just not taking, could it be that our species just doesn't accept it because it's not what the species likes? It's like finding a...
As I said, Altori, religion, it works. If you control that, you control the person. Simple as that. And is this a losing battle? To a certain degree, yes. But if people let themselves getting dominated, then it will happen. So at the end of the day, the battle isn't even losing, it just swings from time to time. And right now we're definitively going for the they are losing thing. Slowly but surely. And I'm happy about that. You should be too.
Quail and trying to feed it socks and getting mad because it doesn't want socks, it wants berries. And you're like, ew, you damn nasty back-ass bird, fucking big back-looking pheasant. You don't want to eat socks? What's wrong with you? Like, that's not what it's meant to eat. Like that... Are you okay? What's the problem? It's okay to enjoy beauty. Even if you're not beautiful, it's still okay. You can pretend you are by playing the game. You don't have to expose yourself like this. It doesn't make the character any less empowered, and it doesn't make you a bad person for appreciating it. It's okay. Instead of clutching your pearls every time a sexy character shows up because, oh my god, the devil, just embrace the escapism. I mean, it's okay if you want to say I don't like it personally, but every time they make these comments, they always have to attack men. She did not have to, or whatever, didn't have to put in mainly male dominated, male gaze. It's always that. They never consider, hey, women like me play it. I like it because the characters are pretty, both the men and the women. It is what it is. I'm sorry, if they look like big raindrop shaped blobs, I really wouldn't be interested unless they're cartoon characters that specifically look like that. And that's the appeal. But if we're playing as humans, I would rather play as really sexy humans with a bubble butt. On the men too. Remember Captain America? That's America's ass. If you're finding an issue with women's bodies that don't look like yours, then maybe that's a you problem. It's not hurting anyone, but you were flying off the handle with it and attacking a whole demographic. Even though it's male dominated, there's a bunch of us. So what, we female gamers just don't exist? The lesbian gamers just don't exist? Interesting that you don't get on the gay guys for sexualizing the men, right? Or if the male or the gay guys, here's another one. The gay guys will sexualize the straight women. They're like, damn, that girl looking good. Like, they're not interested in them, but the male gays are still gazing at them sexually. Like, so what is your answer for that? Are the gay men also disgusting and creepy? Do they fall under the male gaze? Man, I'm so sorry if I'm coming off like super mean. I'm going through so much right now. Like,
don't excuse yourself. You didn't go overboard even once. I am so effing sick if people just say, I am sorry for this. saying I'm sorry is literally worthless. Do it by your actions, not by your words. Explain what you did wrong, then don't do it again. Simple as that. Don't just say sorry. It's worthless.
My husband almost died. That's nobody's business, really, but I my filter and my shit is just falling apart, so I should probably just end the video here. But I can't stand nonsense.
Okay. If your husband almost died, I hope he's still fine, that he won't get any permanent damages out of it, especially no mental ones. And maybe if he's lucky and you are lucky, just maybe we can see the positive in it, and you may get some, or he can get some really cool looking scars. I got some. And they look beautiful. The pain was there, but right now the scars are fucking sexy. So, if he's in the bad thing that happened to him, maybe he will get a bit of luck. And as I said, for fuck's sake, I just hope he's healthy at the bare minimum, that he won't get any permanent damages out of it. Let's just freaking hope. Just pray to the unholy gods.
I don't understand. Like, it's the hypocrisy too. Just let people do their thing. Say you don't like it, you don't like their body type. You don't have to attack people who do like it, which I'm sorry is the majority of us. Get yourself some freaking therapy, or go to the gym, or push away the plate, or whatever you have to do so that you can stop being so insecure about how other women's bodies look.
Correct.
And I'm sorry, this is funny. This bears repeating. Especially on fantasy girl, like, these are not even real women, dude. They're freaking pixels. Like,
Correct.
You're mad at men sexualizing pixels. You make fun of them, like, haha, you're in love with pixels, bro. Which you do as well. But then you're also getting mad because men are finding pixels attractive that are not actually women. I don't get it. But anyway.
Oh, it comes. Blink, motherfucker. Oh, I love this outro. It's just. This outro is just beautiful. But yeah, I mean, what can I say except for I agree with her on 100%, or 100% of the time. It's just so fucked up that people just don't understand, or that the only thing you have to do to actually be normal, polite, is simply behave like a normal human being. And most people will just accept you as you are. Maybe don't be cynical all the time like I am. Well, I can get away with it because I'm a bit more charming. But in the end of the day, just behave normal, for the most part. A to jest acolytes. Dobry dzień, good night, and schönen Nachmittag.